Good morning. I am Alison Mead from Silicon Bullet, and this is
Margaret Sheppard from Rosebud Consultancy Limited.
And we're doing this quick video today to try and bust some myths about making tax digital. We're calling it Making Tax Digital, Fact or Fiction. So just so you know, we know what we're talking about. I am a bookkeeping trainer and teach people how to use Sage and Xero software. So I can assist you with getting the software to work properly for you. And Margaret?
I am a bookkeeper stroke accountant who manages the books of various other companies, either on Sage, Xero or QuickBooks, and I can help you keep your book records up to date and compliant and filed on time.
Excellent. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this as a question and answer session between myself and Margaret and have a little chat, and hopefully you will be able to take some practical things and work out what you need to do for your Making Tax Digital. And of course we'll put some contact details in there so that you can get in touch with us for your specific situation to see what you need to do. Mm-hmm. So Margaret, first things first, Making Tax Digital. Who has to follow this new system?
Any VAT registered company that is above the VAT threshold will have to follow it. The VAT threshold is £85,000 per annum. So if you're below that, you are what is called voluntarily registered, and you do not have to follow the system. At this stage, it is just for those above the VAT threshold.
And does it make any difference if you're a sole trader or if you're a limited company?
No, it is the VAT registration that makes the difference, not the type of company or the type of method you work under.
Excellent. Okay. So, does it also make a difference if you are cash accounting or if you are accrual based, doing your VAT based on
No,
the
it doesn't. It is every VAT registered business. There has been no distinction made.
Okay, brilliant. So when does Making Tax Digital start? When do you have to start doing this?
You can start doing it now because they've extended the pilot and you can voluntarily start now. But the actual deadline of when you have to is for VAT returns commencing on or after the 1st of April 2019. That means if your VAT quarters are January, April, July and October, your first VAT return that you would have to do would be the one commencing on the 1st of May, which is your July return.
Okay, so if you're a business that runs your VAT quarter from March, April to May, that means you won't actually have to start your Making Tax Digital till the following quarter.
No. So if your quarter ending the 31st of March, you can do under the current method. The one beginning for April, May and June, you would have to do Making Tax Digital, which means the deadline for filing would be the 7th of August.
Okay, brilliant. So some people have got a little bit longer to sort this out.
Yes.
So it doesn't have to be 1st of April done and then you're doing it.
No.
Okay. So if you were doing VAT registration and submitting online already with the old software that you've got, you will already have an HMRC login and your passwords.
Yes.
Can you use your existing HMRC login to do your Making Tax Digital return?
No.
Okay.
Making Tax Digital is all about having an API with HMRC. That means Application Programming Interface, which allows your computer to talk to their computer directly. So you cannot go through the gateway and you cannot use your current password. If you have an accountant or bookkeeper that does the VAT for you, they should be registering now for theirs to be able to transfer you within the system. If you do your own VAT returns, then you need to go on HMRC's website, look up that Making Tax Digital and follow the rules of how you apply for your new registration details.
What I'm actually advising my clients to do is wait until they do their last return in the old way and then go onto the website and register for Making Tax Digital, just so they don't get mixed up because of the voluntary registration. They might register too soon.
Yes.
So do your last return, and then you'll need to log into the HMRC, and it's almost like you're just saying to HMRC, I want to do the new way now, and they'll send you a new login and password. Yeah.
You don't have to wait. You don't have to use it just because you've got your login.
Okay.
But you're right, it is a safety measure. The only hesitation I would have with that is that so are a lot of other people.
Okay.
And we know what January's like.
Everybody's logging in and asking for the new idea.
It might overwhelm.
Yeah.
So that's an advantage of doing it early.
Okay. So what is it that we're actually going to be submitting to the HMRC via this new this API, this interface?
The same 9 boxes that we submit now.
Okay.
There is no change on the information that is required. This new software doesn't allow HMRC to look at your records.
Okay.
And while they're asking you to maintain digital records, at this stage there is no requirement for you to have to upload it. It is just the 9 boxes.
I know that's what's being submitted, but they're still saying with Making Tax Digital, you do need to keep your records digitally, which basically means on a computer and not books, pieces of paper.
Yes, they are asking for digital records to be kept digitally, and they are asking they're insisting on the new interface, but they're also saying that people with older software that cannot for one reason or another upgrade, there are bridging softwares where you can download into a spreadsheet and then upload from there to the bridging software and pass it through.
Okay.
They have what they call a soft landing at the moment, which means you can manually input the data onto the spreadsheet, but that is only for the first 12 months. After that, you have to digitally download it into the spreadsheet and digitally upload the link. And the link between spreadsheet and bridging software has to be digital from the 1st of April.
So from April 2020, you can't just work out your VAT return somewhere else, open up a spreadsheet, type the figures in the 9 boxes and then submit it. But you can do that for the first year.
Yes.
Buy you a little bit of time to upgrade.
Yes. Yep.
Are there any companies that are exempt from Making Tax Digital?
There are certain people that will be exempt. They are currently exempt in many cases anyway, and they will have received a letter telling them that that exemption will continue. That tends to be people where, for example, it's too remote for them for their links and they've had to apply for exemptions.
If you haven't got decent broadband, you can't start uploading stuff online.
No.
Yeah.
But you haven't got decent broadband now and you would have applied anyway. There is also, if, for example, your religion forbids you to use the internet, you can get, there is an exemption. But again, you have to apply and HMRC will look at that on its own merits.
Okay, and the other one that I'd heard about was if it's a company is currently in an insolvency position.
Yes, if you're in an insolvency position, you can voluntarily use it, but you do not have to.
Brilliant. Okay. So the last question that we have to answer, which is the one that everybody's talking about online, is do you actually need to have cloud software? Is that what it means by digital?
Not necessarily cloud software. Certain people have introduced software that they call a cloud version, but it's exactly the same as now. It's on your system, and you log in as normal, and that will obviously have inbuilt the bridging link to do it.
Yeah.
And as I said, I go back to if you need to use bridging software to get yourself into a position, that is allowed, and there is no intention of taking that away in 2020.
Okay.
It is not something that's just for a year and then it's gone.
So specific examples that I know, because I know Sage
Mm-hmm.
and Xero, if you look in the top left-hand side of your Sage software, if it just says Sage 50 accounts or Accountant Plus or Professional, then that is not Making Tax Digital compliant. If you have a up-to-date version of that, though, you can actually just pay extra to Sage for the bridging software to allow you to keep that software and upgrade. Or what you can do is upgrade to Sage 50 Cloud, and the word Cloud or 50C will be up there in the top left bar when you open your Sage program. And if you have that software, then that is the compliant software that can go straight through and do it for you. If you're in Xero, if you're in the very smallest product that basically allows you, I think, up to 5 invoices and 20 back transactions, the entry-level Xero, that will not be Making Tax Digital compliant. You need to be in the version that's £22 a month plus VAT for each month, or the bigger version for those ones to be Making Tax Digital compliant. There are some companies, though, that do fit the rules that are being deferred for 6 months.
Yes, the main one of those is groups, and again, if you're in, there are several sections where you may well be deferred for 6 months, but if you're in one of those sections, you will have been written to on a specific letter confirming that you are deferred for 6 months, and you will have received that by now.
Yeah, I know I've got 2 clients that have received their letter already, so look out for the letters from the HMRC because they are coming out now.
Yeah, if you haven't received a letter and you think you're in that position, again, get onto HMRC now and they will identify why you've been missed, or that you aren't missed because they don't classify you as a group, or whichever one of these other sections there are.
Excellent. So, Margaret, how can people get in touch with you if they want help with making sure they've got the right software or in doing their bookkeeping and getting it done correctly?
They can either phone me on 07974 420 716 or email me at margaret@odpl.eu.
Excellent. Okay, and for me, if you just look for Silicon Bullet online, I've got a blog where I've got some other Making Tax Digital information at blog.siliconbullet.com, and you can find you can also find me. I've got Silicon Bullet Facebook page and find me on LinkedIn as well. So I hope that between
and I have
us,
a Rosebud Consultancy Facebook page and LinkedIn page.
Excellent, excellent. We'll put some links below the video as well.
Yeah.
So hopefully we've been able to answer some questions, maybe explode some myths, maybe let you know whether or not this is actually going to affect you or not. But it is something that you need to start thinking about now. Now that we've got tax returns in January out the way, the next thing that you need to look at is Making Tax Digital. So I hope that this has been of some help for you.
Thank you very much.